that's just one of the benefits of life, facing your fears. I was about to head to work right now and I'm looking outside. It's a little muggy out there, a little wet out there. I'm guessing it rained a bit. And that got me thinking of one subject I'd like to talk about, because it was something that I always feared when I first started riding. I have 5 fears that you should really get over when you're starting to ride a motorcycle. That it took me a little while to get over a couple of these things, but at the end of the day, they're stuff that you just gotta get out of your head when you're out riding one of these. It helps you concentrate more on the road and other things than what you're overthinking in your head, thinking that that's gonna be the reason that you might lay the bike down. And that's one of those things, laying the bike down. I don't know how else to sugarcoat this. You're gonna eventually, it's just the name of the game. It's gonna go down at one point. The only thing you can do is make sure you're wearing your gear. Make sure you have something on, bare minimum, be a helmet, be some gloves, have something. And one of the first ones that I just thought of, because I was out helping my brother jump his bike the other day, is maintenance. Maintenance on a motorcycle.
It ain't got no gas in it.
Some people can think it's real scary. It's really not. It's really pretty simple to do on most bikes. Pretty much, yeah, I want to say most bikes, because there are some fancy Italian bikes or whatever that I don't want to learn how to work on. I've seen people work on them. I've seen some of my favorite YouTubers buy them, fix them. I don't know how hard it was for them, but they made it seem easy. Either way, bike maintenance is not really something to, it's not really something to fear. It is something that you can learn real quick. You're already here on YouTube watching this video. Go and look at bike maintenance videos if that's what you're looking for right now. It's not that hard. I was at my brother's the other day trying to jump his bike, and we couldn't get it going. It was sitting around for too long. And then here in Texas, it goes from 30 degrees in the morning to 80 degrees in the afternoon. So the battery was just left alone too long. We couldn't get it going with just a jump. All that could have been prevented with one of these connected to the wall. This is a trickle charger. Not sponsored at all by them, no affiliate to them, but that is a cheap way to make sure your bike stays charged when you're not using it, because sometimes you just don't want to ride. Sometimes it's too cold, sometimes you just gotta work. So keep your batteries going. That is a surefire way to keep your batteries going. It could save you a lot of headache, like what we went through the other day trying to get it to jump. Guys, don't be scared of bike maintenance. Bike maintenance is essential. It is a big pillar in your safety while you're out riding. You don't want to be riding on bad tires. You definitely don't want this thing to be breaking down on you on the highway, because towing these is just as expensive as a car. It's gonna happen, maybe if you have an older bike or something like that, but just know what you sign up for. If you're buying an older bike, know your maintenance, know what to do. Now we have number 2, and that's gonna be the cost of motorcycle ownership. Now you can go really cheap. Look at my past video. I talk about how I bought a $1,500 motorcycle. It's fine, it's running. I got the tag, I got the title, I got all that sorted out. And then you're gonna need insurance. Insurance is gonna be, that one I just own it, so insurance is like $50 a month. And you're gonna need gear. Now, gear is not something to go cheap on. You need a good helmet. That goes anywhere from $200 to, helmets can get stupid expensive. I'm just gonna say $1,000. You can go higher than that, but you don't want to. As if you're just starting or whatever, there's no need to. So I'm gonna put that about $500. That gets you a really, really good helmet that's gonna last you many riding seasons. $500 helmet. And then a good jacket. Now this one is where it's gonna start changing up, because you have your summer jackets, you have your winter jackets, you have vests, you have all these different types of jackets that I don't wanna say are essential for when you're starting out. Because what I did when I started riding was I bought the summer jacket. I bought I forgot the exact name of the jacket, but I know it was made by Revit, and it had like the holes right here for airflow and all that. And when the wintertime came, I just tossed on a underlayer under that jacket, and it was fine for the first winter I had it in, and I rode in like 40 degrees and stuff like that. There's ways around buying all these types of different gear if you're just starting out. Now I have like vests, jackets, everything. Visit First Manufacturing Co. Use my code in the description. But before you buy all those different types of jackets and stuff like that, you can buy one and just kind of suit it for your needs. So that one was about $200. That one came with all the elbow pads, everything. No back armor. For some reason, a lot of companies don't like to include the back armor, but that's not expensive either. I think that's like an extra 20 bucks. Me personally, I've never worn riding pants. You can buy those Kevlar lined pants and everything. I've never worn them. It seems like more of a hassle. Whereas if you look at the statistics of the crashes on motorcycles, most of them are related to not wearing a helmet. Very minimal are they related to leg injuries. With that being said, I do always wear some steel toe boots when I'm out. Take that back, because I do like to wear my Nikes on the Yamaha. At bare minimum, at least just wear some leather-ish shoes. I usually wear my steel toes, just my regular work boots. When I'm on my Harley, if I'm on my R6, I'll wear some Nike high tops. Shoes, maybe I would spring for. That's an extra like 300 bucks or so. So what are we at? So we're at like another 1,000 or so for gear. So I'm gonna use my bike as an example, my R6 over there. We're gonna say 1,500. Maybe you found one, more typically, actually, I'm not gonna use that as an example. That is a rare example right there. Let's say you find a bike on Marketplace about 3,000 bucks or so. Fix it up, maybe put like 500 into it, get a new chain and sprocket, whatever little bits and bobs it needs. If it needs a lot of work, if it's your first bike, I wouldn't get a bike that needs a lot of work. Your main goal is to get out there and start riding your bike and start learning how to ride a bike. Don't buy a bike that needs a ton of work and you're mostly gonna spend in the garage fixing it, just trying to get out and ride. So we're at, I wanna say $4,000 to $5,000 right there. That's a valid fear to not wanna spend $5,000. $5,000, I would say, is a good starting point to start riding a bike. Don't even get me started on this. I don't know why I'm standing in front of this bike as an example. This is not a good example. This is $15,000. That one I would say is a valid fear for starting to ride a motorcycle, the startup cost, because it is a lot. This is why a lot of people don't do this. It's a lot of extra money, and we're not counting all the other fees that go with it. Premium gas, tires. A set of tires on one of these is as much as a set of car tires. So that's just the name of the game. They're not car tires, they're motorcycle tires. Do not put car tires on your motorcycle. And that's gonna bring me on to number 3. But I think number 3, we're gonna gear up. I'm gonna head to work and we're gonna do a little commute vlog talk about riding on the highway, tickets, and we're gonna talk about 2 more things while we're out riding. I don't know if I can do this transition just right, but let's see, I gotta put it right there. Yeah. All right, back to, now what was I saying? Riding in bad weather. you're gonna get caught one day in some bad weather. It's just gonna happen, and it's nothing to really fear. You're gonna lose some traction, and you're not gonna be able to ride as hard as you usually ride because of the rain. You know, obviously you got water on the road, and no one's gonna bat an eye at you for pulling over at a gas station, drinking a Mountain Dew or something like that while the rain passes. There's no trophy at the end of your trip for you. Just worry about getting home safely. And honestly, I've ridden in bad weather multiple times. It's not that bad. You would think that your tires just slip and stuff, but they don't. You still got a good amount of traction on the road. Plenty enough to get you where you're going. You just can't be riding that aggressive. Dial it back about 10 degrees and you'll be alright. Now, another big fear of mine is something that now I do every day, which is this right here, riding on the highway. Riding on the highway was super scary to me. Obviously, everyone's going really fast. Not to mention people that like to go over the speed limit. But I'm not gonna lie to you, it's probably more dangerous to be riding on service streets and stuff. You got more intersections, you got everyone pulling out and stuff like that. It's definitely more dangerous on a service road or whatever to be riding, because you got everyone going all sorts of different directions. And here on the highway, we're all just going one direction. You know, no one's really pulling out on you. If they are, they're not. They're going the same direction as you. Gave him a little wave. But if you're just gonna start riding on the highway, I recommend riding on those service streets over there. I forgot what they're really called. Just riding on those streets, getting on the highway for one exit, then getting off. Getting on, getting off. Get a feel for going that speed and slowly ease your way into it. You know, this is not something you can really afford to mess up on. So, if you feel like you're pushing yourself too hard, don't do it. Seeing that cop over there takes me to another one. Getting tickets. Now, I remember I got my first ticket on my Sportster, and it just so happened to be on my birthday. It was actually on this highway too. I was going the other way. I was going home, and I was kind of ripping up the highway or whatever, as much as you can do on a Sportster. And he caught me. He was a cool cop though. He said I was going triple digits, but because it was my birthday, he said I'll put it at 90 miles an hour. And you know, that's a valid fear on motorcycles, is getting tickets. And a lot of times it's very justifiable why you got that ticket. Because even me just doing what I'm now, I'm going 85, that's going over the limit. But I'm just trying to stay in people's visibility. You don't want to be standing around in traffic going the same speed as everybody. You want to keep everyone's attention on you. So that kind of brings it back to, I don't want to say tickets are inevitable, but that's a valid fear of having a bike, is you're going to get some tickets. Especially if you have a sport bike, you're just a cop magnet.
on a sport bike. You know, it is what it is. They see those things. They know what you're doing. Ain't no one riding an R6, R1, Gixxer Thou, and always going the speed limit. That don't happen. All these are valid fears of riding a bike. From dropping it, to maintaining your own bike, to tickets, to riding on the highway. No one is gonna judge you for claiming that any of these are a fear of yours. These are fears that everyone riding a bike has dealt with and gotten over, and it's just part of riding a bike.
So of course that day I had to go into work. Now it's the next day, change of clothes, everything. And I just wanted to say that all that stuff that I talked about in the video, everyone goes through, everyone has dealt with that kind of thing. If not, probably more fears. I used to think that just because I was riding next to an 18-wheeler, it was gonna just push me off of the road. But eventually you ride more, you realize that most of those fears don't really come into play at all. And that's where you build the confidence. And when you build that confidence, that is probably the most self-gratifying feeling that you get when you're on a bike. And that's just one of the benefits of life, facing your fears. And once you get over that nice feeling that you get, that you did something that you thought would be impossible, scary, or whatever, and overcoming any of your fears is part of life. And that is one of the best feelings that you can have, putting your bad thoughts to rest and knowing that you were brave enough to come out the other end of that fear situation and that you pushed yourself. I hope this video goes out and helps people that are scared of riding a motorcycle, because everyone is scared of riding a motorcycle. No one goes into this with full confidence, whether you were a little kid riding dirt bikes or me, fully grown and deciding why not ride a two-wheel death trap in the middle of a major city in Texas. But at the end of the day, anyone can do it. And once you finally do it, I'm telling you, that feeling that you get when you got over it, got on the road, whether it be your bad weather, whether it be my fear of just riding on the highway and stuff like that, whether it be motorcycle maintenance, whatever have you. Once you go out and you actually do it, and then you do it right, that there's nothing else that can replace that. I want to thank y'all for watching the video. I hope y'all have a good day. Happy New Year's, and we'll see y'all next time.